Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you all for the roundtable conference conducted by All India Council for Technical Education (AICT), Central Board of Secondary Education (CBSE), and Automotive Skills Development Council (ASDC). I would like to introduce our esteemed guest, Dr. T.G. Sitaram from AICT, Dr. Abhay Jere from AICT, Dr. Biswajit Saha from CBSE, Mr. Arindam Lahiri from Automotive Skills Development Council (ASDC), Mr. Vinkesh Gulati from ASDC and FADA both, Mr. Dharam Rakshit from Hero Motocorp, Mr. Ramesh P. from Volvo Eicher Commercial Limited, Mr. Musrat Hussain from Suzuki R&D Center India, Ms. Anu Mehta from Honda Cars India, Mr. Neeraj Hans from Sandhar Technologies, Dr. K.C. Vora as an ex-ARAI. Now I would call Ms. Minakshi Sharma to start the session. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We welcome you to AICT and ASDC Roundtable Conference on scope of opportunities and technological advancements in automobile sector. We are delighted to have all our distinguished guests and dignitaries here today for this special event. The primary objective of this event is to foster awareness and collaboration between academia and industry to bridge the gap in skilling and ensure students are better equipped for the current market demand of the job. Now, I would like to welcome Vice Chairman AICT Dr. Abhay Jere to give his opening remarks. He is also Chief Innovation Officer of India's Ministry of HRD. He leads initiatives promoting innovation in higher education, including the Smart India Hackathon and the Atal Innovation Ranking Framework. He is also championing the establishment of innovation councils, supporting student startups and shaping innovation and MBA programs. His dedication in fostering innovation and entrepreneurship is highlighted by his newspaper columns and India First Leadership Talk series on Lok Sabha TV. The stage is all yours, sir.
So, Namaskar. On behalf of AICT, I welcome you all to our campus. This is a very unique initiative which we are trying to do. This is the first edition of this initiative. And the primary reason why we are doing this initiative is because, as you see, the engineering sector is actually evolving very rapidly. There is surge of students in emerging technologies like AI, ML, blockchain, cybersecurity, and the demand for core engineering courses are going down substantially. We are getting large number of requests from colleges where they would like to scale down core engineering programs. But as you are aware that our Prime Minister has given us the goal of making India a developed country by 2047. It means that India still needs to be built. And if you have to build this country, then we require core engineers. So our Honorable Chairman felt that we should take up some very unique initiatives to actually push students, encourage students to actually think about going back to core areas. And that is the reason we have you here, so that we can discuss about the opportunities which core area presents or core engineering sector presents to the students, so that they believe that in long term, their career in core engineering sector is in par with the emerging technologies. Moreover, we would also like to explore how core engineering and emerging engineering could be blended together, maybe in terms of minor degrees and so on and so forth. And what is your response as industry to the changes which we are making at AICT, and how together we can join hands and move in this direction so that our core engineering branches attract right kind of talent. So that is where we are, and that is the reason. So we are going to go with automobile sector first because it generates huge amount of revenue for this country, and slowly we will move to other sectors also. So thank you very much. I once again welcome all of you for coming to AICT, and let's have this fruitful discussion so that we can actually send a very different message to our students. One more important thing is that we have Biswajit Saha from CBSE here. And that is very important for us, because who are our customers in that sense, or who are our stakeholders? Our stakeholders are students which are in schools, 8th standard, 9th standard, because at that time they actually start defining their career. And that is the reason we have joined hands with CBSE also, so that we are in sync, and together as industry body, as school body, as higher regulatory agency or facilitator agency, we will work together to push or give a new direction to this entire sector. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for welcoming everyone and setting the context. Now, I would like to welcome Chairperson AICTE Dr. T.G. Sitaram for sharing his insights on AICTE skilling initiatives. He was former director of IIT Guwahati, has a distinguished academia and an administrative career spanning across prestigious institutions, and holds various leadership positions in the field of technical education. The stage is all yours, sir.
Namaskar. Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much for taking your time off and visiting All India Council for Technical Education. I also would like to thank Biswajit Saha and also Sector Skill Council Chairman and all the industry representatives for this meeting. And Dr. Jere has already set the agenda for the meeting. Actually, it's a very serious issue that large number of students are only opting for emerging areas, whether it is cybersecurity or artificial intelligence and data science, computer science. Okay, such courses are very popular. And also some of the issues which are related with the regulatory also are changing in the space, because private universities doesn't need to take an approval from AICT, private state universities, because they are from the State Act, because education being a concurrent subject between the states and also the government of India, this problem is there. We have also taken up that issue separately with UGC and others to handle how quality of technical education can be maintained. Why this is very important is India is very strong in STEM. We have demonstrated not just sending our people as the top business tycoons, all CEOs are all from Indian diaspora, and also majority of them also come from Indian education system, okay, in the whole world. So it's very important for us to understand why this the opinion has been towards the emerging areas, not the core engineering. Because India, as he rightly put it, India is yet to be built. Even if you look at the consumption of steel and cement, we are still much lower than China, even though China has reached the plateau. Okay. So considering this, we thought that we'll have a debate with the industry people. So one or two issues which I have observed, I will share with you. One is the package students get once they graduate in the core engineering is so low, it's not very attractive to them. On the other hand, emerging areas, they do get a reasonably, there is a lot of variations. And it is not the scenario only in AICT institutions. I would like to give you that perspective as well, because I was the director of IIT, so I know the real story. Even in IITs also, all the student, whether he is a civil engineer, mechanical, electrical, electronics, he is joining finally an IT related or a fintech related companies where his package is very high, as well as he has a sort of a growth opportunities also there, and all the other benefits. Okay, it's like a white collar job, doesn't like to go to the field. So there is a mindset. So we thought that let's change this mindset, starting from schools. That's why Dr. Saha is here with us, because today CBSE, I was witnessing the National Teachers Award. CBSE schools are really, really good, better than many of our engineering institutions in terms of infrastructure. The way technology is penetrated to their schools is mind-boggling. It may not be so in all schools. That's why we have started with CBSE right now, because we have more than large number of schools actually in the country.
More than 28,000 CBSE, but
Yeah.
local schools 25.
So what we are thinking is, talk to you, understand what measures we can take to improve the scenario, and also talk to the school, so educate the children as well as parents that core engineering is also very, very important. And we have also taken already some steps to integrate the emerging areas into core engineering curriculum. See, now today AICTE has already permitting students who are doing a BTech or BE in civil, mechanical, electrical can also minor in data science, artificial intelligence, or sensors, or robotics, because these are all now almost like interspersed, and they are become part of the core engineering. Also the industry 4.0 to almost we are moving into 5.0. So where ICT technologies are common now everywhere. So with these brief background to this, how do we tackle this problem, and what are the initiatives AICT has taken? I will just tell you some of the initiatives what AICT has taken. One is our internship. We have made it mandatory to all the school, college students. So this mandatory internship will give them experiential learning and hands-on experience working with an industry as well directly. And also we are also bringing slowly a concept of earn while you learn concept, so that they are ready, so that they start working there and learn the tricks, the trade, what industry requires. And also picking up, we have made skilling as part of the curriculum. See, now jointly with the NCVET and the Skill India, we have brought that any course, anything what students learn, whether it is through a project mode or a industry interaction mode, or even some activities outside the classroom, also creditable. So thanks to NCVET, our national credit framework is already out. And I always say this national credit framework, and we are also thinking of creating a unique ID for a learner, starting from kindergarten to PhD, very similar to Aadhaar. It's actually called as APAR, AAPPAAR. So this unique ID and academic bank of credits and the national credit framework is actually the new QR code for learners. So that means learners can pick up these courses while they are in college, so they don't need to be trained when they come to the industry itself. So they can learn these courses online. So in this initiative also, we have taken at AICTE what is called as NEET portal, National Education Alliance for Technology. Large number of companies have put their products, which are curated by AICTE, on the platform, and we actually popularize or encourage students to take these courses and get the credits, equivalent credits or certificates, and use them for their job profiles, because the future skills have to be inculcated while they are in college. So that's the attempt we are trying to make in all our curriculum, and curriculum is continuously upgraded. I've already taken up the upgradation of the curriculum. We are also talking to the industry people, so that in every committee where curriculum is framed, we have industry representatives. Every committee, so that we bring in the needs of the industry into the classroom. So this is already being done. Curriculum is continuously upgraded. We are also thinking of creating what is called as a AICTE placement portal for particularly the rural engineering colleges and aspirational districts college. Okay, wherein students are actually there, they have a very small number of seats, 60, 30 seats in core engineering and also even emerging areas. But we want to catch them there, so that there is a placement, the students keep coming there. So that's where we are working with many of you also. We would like to request you to also join our portal. There are 3,000 companies have already shown interest. They have already signed up. We are soon going to launch for this placement season at the engineering institutions. So we are making several efforts of this kind, and we are also introducing digital skills. We have signed up with top companies, particularly the US companies, 6 of them. We recently signed MOU for skilling, upskilling and reskilling programs in digital skills, whether it is cybersecurity or simple digital skills. All of that we have already signed with Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, and 3 other companies. 6 companies we have signed, and with large number. The goal is, for example, IBM alone wants to train 30 million by 2030. Okay, 30 million students or learners in the skilling while they're in the college. So these are some of the initiatives we have taken at AICTE. We would like your support and also your views on that, and how do we modify these programs so that you can get a ready, trained student to work in your companies, and also how their packages are, how do you attract these students to retain them in the core engineering and also do the other activities in the advanced, because our kids actually in India are excellent, very smart, tech savvy, and you might have seen recently AICTE also announced 1 student, 1 laptop program. That means we wanted them to be ready to start using AI tools and everything, in a daily life, so that they are very well aware of the technologies which are coming in through the industry 4.0 or 5.0, so that they are ready for their jobs. With these few remarks, I would like to leave this for further discussions with all of you. I'd like to hear your views and your support to join hands with AICTE to take our agenda forward to save the core engineering programs or popularize these core engineering programs and see that they also flourishes along with the emerging areas. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights. Now, I would like to call Director CBSE Dr. Biswajit Saha for sharing his thoughts on CBSE skilling initiatives. He is currently responsible for skill curriculum design, teacher training and digital education initiatives with extensive experience in leadership roles and development projects in the education sector. The stage is all yours, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Chairman AICTE, Vice Chairman AICTE, representative from ASDC, and of course, today's main attraction that top-notch industry representative are here. It's a big thing for all of us whenever any dialogue happens, mostly in silos. Industry's requirement, they discuss in their boardroom, academic institute, curriculum design. Of course, Chairman Sir has rightly messaged that in our curriculum design process, industry representatives are must. But sometimes that gap is so huge, and that's why different survey multiple time pronounces that employability skills or some gap is there. Now, how to minimize this? So, if we start from the school education, and once after completing 10+2, when they enter to professional institutes, it is very easy for the teachers, educators from the higher educational institutes to pointing a questions, there are certain gap remains and we are not able to cope up. So it's a storytelling of gap from school to higher to industry. I am really thankful AICTE at this stage when NEP, NCF and National Curriculum Framework are very much buzz around in every nook and corner of the country, are also inviting the industry stalwart to share what way we can shift the focus of the student and parent mindset from only computer science, IT, or so-called AI, ML, or generative based discussions to core engineering. Well, second, the comments of Vice Chairman, because if India we are really want to look into at 2047 in short terms or long term way, if we design the strategy of schooling and higher education and industrial development growth, I think it is high time to look into the perspective of teaching learning process and also educating the student and parents mindset what kind of career progressions are there if a child chooses a core engineering like civil engineering or mechanical engineering. As today's discussion is confined to the automotive sector, here I would like to highlight that in last 10 to 15 years, just look into the balance sheet of the several automotive industries present in India or selling the car. Now, one can visualize only the car is related to automotive. No. There are lot many other backbone industries are allied with such industry. And here, mostly the core engineers requirement are huge than that of the IT/ITS. So, of course, IT/ITS for record keeping, database management or ERP solutions, definitely they are looking into. There is a requirement. And modern days automotive, if Government of India is especially focusing on electrical vehicles, and tomorrow solar energized vehicle, who are going to design that? Who are going to manufacture it for us? Maybe initially technology may come from elsewhere, or even the research institutes in India also come up with their indigenous technology. But who are going to do that? Unless the basis of that core engineering is not there, I don't think a computer science specialist can design a automotive or its engine style of functioning. So at this point of time, I would like to request the engineering institute in the country how you can join hand with the school ecosystem, because awareness through this kind of dialogue, definitely we can convince you at this stage. But unless you convince the student and parents locally available near to your campus, I think we cannot change. And that's why at least those students who are opting physics, chemistry, math at their 10+2, they must visit and see the opportunities. I can quote the German examples here. While they are in the school, a batch of students along with the teachers goes to the premier industries body. They spend 15 days and decide whether to continue study or their dual Schule model would be adopted by them. And many of the students are doing. But I am not telling or encouraging the students to leave the schools and join industry right after 10. But they can experience what the neighboring engineering colleges are doing. And if we really like to promote core engineering, at least students must spend 2 days in each department, and they must look into the perspective, especially which is matching with their passion, and then come back, discuss with their parents and decide the career progressive pathway. And for industry, I must request, Chairman Sir has rightly mentioned, the package really matters. The parents whenever discuss if someone is working in IT industry, and that too also COVID has given a tremendous opportunity with especially work from home. So by sitting home, of course discussions on moonlighting and others are there. If individuals annual incomes graphs is going higher and higher, then that definitely encourages the neighborhood also. So in the core engineering sectors, I know there are specialized organizations who are really paying good, but that information is limited with the boundary of that organizations. So Hero Honda, Maruti, they must focus on promoting what package you are giving to the budding engineer and how senior leaderships are getting what kind of package. IT industries package, Satya Nadella ko kitna milta hai, that is very much known. But what about Hero Motors top CEO, what package is going? Then only that will attract towards mechanical engineering. And Tata Steel CEO, how much he is getting, that is not mentioned. But annual growth of Wipro COE, CFO or COE, how much it is getting, that is not, that itself is a encouraging thought process. So with this note, with this humble request to all top engineering college of the country to interact with the CBSE and other state board schools and industry also, we are open for dialogue again and putting the campus so that it can be promote the schooling, PMKBY and community outreach program. Then only we can really create a smooth pathway for core engineering with IoT, AI, ML integrated program which already AICT is doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Vinkesh Gulati, Vice President ASDC Chairman, Academy Research and Partner FADA. He is a prominent figure in the automotive industry, has played a crucial role in FADA's growth, boasting a strong background in business leadership and commitment to developing talent and teamwork. He will brief us about vehicle demand in shifting towards environmentally conscious and technologically advanced options. The stage is all yours, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and fellow enthusiasts of the automobile sector, which is in the process of transition towards alternate energy. It's an honor to address you all at this August gathering where AICT has organized a roundtable and even CBSE is here to discuss about future of automobile and along with that, the skilling sector in auto. We have seen close to negligible innovation for the past many decades in automobile since we started this ICE engine. But for the past a decade or so, there had been a lot of new changes happening, and those are not small changes. If around 10 years back, if I would have discussed somebody that the vehicles will drive on water or even sodium, they would have laughed on me. But today, the research is happening. There are already people who have tried vehicle running on hydrogen, which we clearly say as water, obviously not exactly water. And there is a process or there is an R&D going on setting a battery lab which is made by sodium. So things have transitioned well and really fast changing. And obviously wherever such changes happen and when it is very rapid, the biggest problem for the industry is talent. And that is where ASDC comes in. No doubt, we don't say that we have already achieved a lot, but it's baby steps towards a big future where skilling is important in the auto sector. And going further, you will find that the auto sector is already a most complex structure where we require a lot of information, skilling and knowledge to understand how things goes away. So there are other industry friends who will update you that around 20 years back, if you want to hire an employee for a manufacturing unit, you normally used to go to the core branches, electric or mechanical. But today, computer science has become the most important branch for any recruitment. And if you are well versed with AI, you are the icing on the cake. Mechatronics being one of the latest thing which is becoming the hep word in the recruitment in the engineering foray, because the vehicles now are not mere engine and drive line or transition. It's more like you can say an iPhone on wheels. And the major issue what we dealers are also facing is not when a vehicle comes for repair is related to engine or black smoke. Today the major issues are related to ECUs, semiconductors and vehicle malfunctioning because some link of wire has been broken because of some mistake. And that is where these type of roundtables and discussions help us a lot. So again, thank you to AICT, because the way AICT is associating with us, we'll be covering majority of our students who look forward to having degree courses after their normal 12th, their boards. And if we are able to successful in this media, the people, the students will look towards auto as a great career with the help of CBSE and AICT. And that is where ASDC is hoping most. So let's discuss the most recent fact. You know, electric vehicles started in 1828, but obviously going further, it lost the feel of that, and people shifted towards fuel, and came the Ice Age engine. But again, it started, and first mass-produced hybrid was by Toyota in 1997, and then Tesla came in 2006, and everything changed. We were talking of EV adoption, which changed by Tesla coming as a pure EV company, and which made a mark in the auto sector. So if I talk about Indian EV industry, it's still in a nascent stage. We are at a very low percentage if I talk on cars, it's below 2. Two-wheelers is still better when we talk of, but still below 10. The best in category which is shifting towards electric vehicle is three-wheeler, which is more than half. Last month it was around 60%, which is a great thing. But obviously that is controlled by the government restriction, so the shift is happening fast. Another category which is improving in a fast way is the bus category, the passenger movement, which is controlled by government, the UPSRTCs and Delhi buses and all. Those are becoming electric fast, and the more upgradation, or you can say change, is happening is on the commercial segment, but it's more related to hydrogen being tested than electric vehicles. So India is still in a nascent stage, and the scope is huge. There have been many stories, many researchers which has happened. So if you see the report by International Energy Agency, which has compared that by the year 2030, the Indian EV market will be similar to China. And by doing this report, they have given a big hope and big improvement in the market of automobile. It means we'll be selling equal numbers with China by 2030, and that is what the auto industry is looking for. We are growing by with a very, very good percentage, and as auto industry is the major part of manufacturing GDP, it's more than 45%. And if I talk about overall, we are around 12% of GST which Indian government gets. So if that improves and we reach that 2030 level of China, you can easily understand where Indian economy will go with that. Another enlightening report which came from Niti Aayog said that India could burgeon into a $300 billion industry by the same year, which is huge. Anybody who is related to auto will obviously benefit, even if it is manufacturers or component manufacturers or trainers or dealers or even educational institutions who are working of making more auto input ready manpower. So that is where we are looking at the collaboration between AISDC and CBSE, so that we are not caught off guarded. We are ready with those kind of manpower or those kind of skills which is needed to support this industry with the growth we are looking forward to. So as per there is another economic survey of 2023 by Government of India, which gives a CAGR of 49% between 22 to 30. I haven't in my life heard about such good CAGR in any industry. So all this talk to tell you that this is the industry you should be in, and the tie-up which we are doing today, the roundtable which we are doing today, we all want to be the part of that strategy where we help you, the candidates, the students, for the future setting of this auto industry. And obviously we are currently also at the scarcity of talent. With the current growth of 10-15% in car industry, we are increasing around 25% or 20% of manpower every year. and that is where the problem is. All the dealers, all the manufacturers are trying to set up training institutions and every other thing to support it. But as you go further, you see that poaching is becoming a bigger problem. So this is where we are looking at that this kind of roundtable helps us get more manpower, which is good for our skilling, helps us in reaching this industry figures, the CAG are better. So that is where we think of. I'm again thanking AICT for giving this support. And as we embark in this exciting journey towards a sustainable and electrified future, let us remember the EV revolution is not just about vehicles. It's about building a brighter, cleaner, and most prosperous future for our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights. Now, I would like to call Mr. Dharam Rakshit, Senior General Manager HR for Hero MotoCorp Limited. He is an accomplished HR leader with diverse industry experience, a global perspective, and a passion for HR coaching, mentorship, and travel. He has worked with several prominent companies throughout his 2-decade career. He is recognized as one of the 50 HR thought leaders of the country by 2020 by ETHR. He will give his insights on automotive manufacturers ensure compliance with changing safety and environmental regulation, though ongoing adoption. The stage is all yours, sir.
So, very good afternoon to everyone, and thank you AICT, CBSE and ASDC for giving us this very opportunity to interact with you. And the topic which has been raised to us is quite a burning and hot topic, because when the core engineering is dying, at the same time the other engineering branches are growing, it is not good, because we need to create a balance. So I represent the automotive sector, and in this very context I will like to showcase. So there are a couple of the context, if you see this thing, how the auto industry as actually the snapshots are there. So their current value is the US dollar $81.3 billion. This is the industry, the overall picture. I'm talking about globally kind of things. And you see this in the contribution to the India GDP is at 12%. And at the same time, you see this thing, the auto industries are also very much labor intensive. So we deploy almost the larger chunk of the manpower in the entire industry. So it is holistically, if you start seeing this thing, there's a huge income opportunity, huge remuneration opportunity, and the employment opportunities are there. In this very context, let's see this thing, how the agenda is shaping up. And the agenda is shaping up very interestingly. If you see the thing, we are having the sustainability driven the regulatory environments, which actually disrupt the entire kind of things. We moved from the BS3 to BS4 to BS6, and now we are moving to EV. Then after going forward, we are also thinking, the auto industry is also thinking to move to the hydrogen and other alternative fuels. That is the kind of the emerging agenda which is coming up. The disruptions coming from the technical sides, because a lot of the technical changes are there. When the Tesla is talking about the automatic driving kind of the vehicle, at the same time, at the two-wheeler, we are also thinking what kind of the technological advancement requires, because the question here is coming very interestingly. The questions are very interesting kind of things, that the customer's preference and the desires are completely changing, and the industry needs to be meeting with those very expectation agenda. Moreover, the geopolitical changes are also disrupting, because the supply chain disruptions we find it during the COVID time, during the Ukraine crisis, now the Israel crisis, we are finding this thing. The entire systems are completely changing, and the auto industry needs to gear up, because in the recent past we faced the chip crisis. So these are the kind of things. And then after you see this thing from the employee perspective point of view, we are seeing this in the compliances mindset, the training and awareness. We are also seeing this advanced safety features which are emerging out, over and above the innovation, sustainability and global alignment, which are the need of the hour. But we should not be forgetting about the employee wellness. And when I'm talking about the employee wellness, it is the holistic entire ecosystem, physical, social, mental, every kind of the wellness is required. Now let's see this thing. When we are talking about the sustainability driven regulations, environment, social and governance, these are three important levers kind of things. You see that largely the auto industries are working the SGD kind of the 12 pillars the auto industry works kind of things. And in this way, the questions, the one of the major kind of things which is coming and compelling business needs for the auto industry, the zero emissions. And from zero emissions, what we actually mean, the human caused the emissions as well as the industry mechanical kind of a thing. Both are the creating the net zero emissions kind of things. I will not devote much because the agenda is something else, and I need to move forward more to like the thing. So let's see this thing. Just I'm just coming back to the agenda. And I'm just trying to map how the auto industry gives the employment opportunity. Larger employment opportunities are coming from the 40%, almost coming from the engineering side. Rest 60% are from the different fragment. And when I am talking about the engineering and design and manufacturing and production, is altogether 65%. 65% are coming from the core industry, core engineering kind of a thing. So it's not coming from the IT, ITS kind of thing, but rather the core electric, mechanical, electronics, mechatronics. These are actually the maximum, the demography, the population is concentrated here. So there is a huge employment opportunity lies with the like a thing if you are doing with the core engineering background if you are coming. Okay. Now let's see this thing. There are the variety of the job opportunities are available. You see this the workman side. I will start from the bottom of the pyramid. 10th pass, because of some people cannot pursue after the 10th due to the variety of the reasons they are drop out. They are also having the opportunity through either to directly getting a job to the 10th or 12th through the ASDC or different models or ITI or the vocational training kind of a thing. These are the opportunities also available. At the same time, you see this thing, diploma engineers. They are also coming at the junior management level. They are the huge opportunity emerging out because when the core engineering people are not coming, then I find this pie is actually increasing day by day. Then you have the other opportunity are the people join from the core engineering like the mechanical, electronics, mechatronics kind of things. They join the middle management and they start slowly growing up in their career. So these are the career opportunities which lies with the automotive sectors. Now see this thing. As an industry, we make the people aware about the core engineering and how we facilitate to enter into, because there is a huge demand in the industry, and many of the time it so happens when the demands are there and supply is low. So the initiatives which has been taken by the most of the automotive industry, we create the direct and the indirect kind of things. Direct, if you see this thing, internship opportunity. Then after we have the tie-up with the ASDC, we have a tie-up with the engineering colleges. We go for the campus hiring. We also go to participate in the curriculum designing for the various kind of the engineering colleges. We are designing, we also provide the vocational training to those very students. These are our direct method by which we try to influence the larger masses to come and join us. In the indirect way, we encourage the people to visit our factories. We go to the different campus outreach. We also talk to the various schools also. Okay, because we are invited and we go also and we talk how the automotive industry actually look like and what kind of the things are emerging out. Social media campaign, you will find the thing LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere, and the Twitter. We always be there and we try to promote kind of things because again I am going by demand and supply gap kind of thing. Now see this thing. What are the top 10 skills which are emerging out, courtesy by the World Economic Forums? And you see this thing, although the analytical thinking and innovations are number one, but there are the other kind of things, and there my thing when we are talking about the core engineering, at the same time it is also required to give the certain managerial inputs, because ultimately everyone has to aspirations to grow up in their career. They don't want to remain at the soft floor and for larger period of time. They don't want to put their hands dirty, and that is the influencing factor for IT and ITS. Okay, and that's why they are getting influenced. So I will just give the opportunity. One is the OEM, second is the component makers. They have the also opportunity, but the huge opportunity is also lying with the sales and after sales. And there you find speaking the formal way we are not actually addressing their issues. And the moment we start having the formal way to addressing their issues, where the opportunities for the 10th pass or the 11th or dropouts or the marginal class of the people, they are having the good opportunity, and then perhaps they can migrate from here to here to here to there kind of. So now you see this thing. I am just using how we can create the integrated courses for the people who are in the marginal class. Very interesting. When a marginal person who has the two compelling needs, whether I should go for learning or I should start earning. Okay, and the dual mode of education actually works together, and we have the very success story. You have the use cases. We are finding it very interesting. In the last 2-3 years, we have deployed around the 1430 ASDC students who are the 10th pass. And out of the 1430, 1400 are directly employed by very good industries. 30 have 15 are self-employed, and 15 have gone for the higher education. This is the success story about. And if you see this thing, we have a tie-up with the ASDC, we have a tie-up with the ITI, we have a tie-up with the SPSU and AMCA, YMCA. We have the various tie-ups where we go, we talk about what the industry requirements are there, we help them to develop their curriculum and the agenda, and then after we take the inputs are also there. Now I will just go to the last story. This is a use case. One of the marginal person, he was having he was in a dilemma that whether I should start earning or but he was a good learner. He joined through the SDC, and then his career progressions happened. He participated in the World Skillathon. He went to Sweden to represent India. Although he could not got the medal, but he was the person who got, and finally he has been absorbed by us. He is now a trainer with us. He is giving the training to the engineers also. That is the success story of that very guy. So, and a couple of the more success stories are of the same kind of things. Another lady, she challenged the entire glass ceiling by doing this thing. She became the building champion. She was also a SDC student. Okay, and that is the story, and that's why I think the full plate, if you start seeing this thing, we have the immense opportunity and immense potentials to absorb the core engineering students. We have the immense opportunity also to provide to grow up in their career ladders. And this is the way, like I think the people should not be only focusing on the emerging needs, because both can become complementary and supplementary to each other. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Arindam Lahiri, CEO of Automotive Skill Development Council Center, ASDC. He possesses 3 decades of diverse experience in span manufacturing, education and training, with a background in mechanical engineering and a postgraduate diploma in marketing and operations from IIM Lucknow. He brings wealth to knowledge to his role, serving as an advisor for startups, educational institutes and government policy committees. The stage is all yours, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you, and thank you AICT, team AICT, to be chairperson and vice chairperson for inspiring us to do this. I'm also happy to note that we are actually the first sector to be doing this. So hopefully we will lead the way for other sectors to also carry on this. Thank you, Dr. Saha, for joining us. I think schools is where we see the biggest potential to do this change in mindset that we've been talking to start with. Because once you get out of school, you've already kind of made your mind, and the parents have already set your expectations. The process of doing that actually happens in the school, and therefore school is very important. And I think we have a very initial stage of initiative that we have taken in schools to connect with students right from class 6 to class 12 through a program called National Automobile Olympiad in partnership with CBSE. And we're also very happy to say that this year, in our second edition itself, we are close to about 40,000+ students who will be participating in this program. So this is a pathway to kind of keeping them engaged with this particular process. We'll be happy to collaborate more with the industry to ensure how we can add more value to the students while they are at the school. I think from the core engineering perspective, having come from one of those core engineering sectors at Jadavpur University, I realize and I strongly believe that automobile is the hotbed of all technologies. I think there doesn't exist any other industry anywhere else where you have an amalgamation of such a wide variety of technologies all in one place. And in today's context in automobile, while I think as mechanical engineers we would always want to believe that automobile is mechanical engineering, but today automobile is only a small part of it is mechanical engineering as far as the body and the movement is concerned, but the rest of it is electrical, softwares, telecommunications, electric, basic, core electric, everything is there. I mean, chemical. I mean, when we talk about batteries now, I mean, unless you have material science, chemical engineering kind of background, you probably won't be able to add value. And this is a very exciting industry. It has huge growing demand because, as Dr. Jerry has just said, that we're building India for becoming a developed economy by 2047. That's the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. There's a huge growing demand and a gap to be filled in terms of automobile and mobility. We have great opportunities. We have rising investment. Everybody talks about Tesla, but we have an Asian Tesla also in the form of VinFast. And VinFast has decided to come to India now, moving out of Vietnam. So I see more and more global players. I don't think global players are missing in action in this industry. This is, I mean, a lot of people say that IT industry is a very global industry. Automotive industry is the most global industry. Every global brand has operations here. Every global brand has presence here and in engineering, core engineering areas. We have tech centers. I don't want to steal the thunder from Mr. Ritsan, when he talks about the Suzuki R&D Center. But there's immense opportunity that we have in this, and we have a very, very supportive government policy which supports the industry to grow with the production-linked incentive scheme, the FAME policy, the CAFE policy. These are all very, very strong policy support to the industry to grow. Cars of the future, I don't want to deal much with this because I'm sure industry people, the representatives, will talk more about this. But obviously it's going to be green, convenient, safe, and affordable, because this is what the world is moving towards in terms of vehicles. Green, I think everybody talks about greenhouse gas emissions, zero tailpipe emission. I'm personally involved with the Center of Excellence of Zero Emission Trucks now at IIT Madras. We're working towards how do we ensure that we create enablers for the ecosystem to have zero emission trucks in the ecosystem. We have convenience, the cars becoming very, very smart, doing things on their own, so to say, so that's very important. Safety has become very important. The whole range of safety engineering, we don't have a branch of engineering called safety engineering, but I would urge very strongly AICT to promote a branch of engineering under safety engineering, because safety is something which is very important if we aspire to be a developed nation on every aspect of our life, not only in automotive. Affordability, using alternate material, making cars accessible. There are a large number of trends. We all talk about CASE, connected, autonomous, shared, and electric kind of models. And the cars will actually become IoTs. These are IoT devices themselves. We talk about IoT applications in automotive, but the cars itself are also IoT devices now, because you can control everything. I think there's a new advertisement that I was seeing where the two-wheeler is being taken away by the father, and the son, the moment he sees this from the window, he sets the speed to 40 kilometers from his phone. So the father can't accelerate beyond 40 kilometers actually, because he wanted to have a joyride. So these are possible and actually happening. Biometric seat technology. As you just sit into the car, the seat transforms itself to your parameters about how you can see all the adjustments. Gone are the days of ambassador when you had to take your hand out to show that you want to do, right turn or left turn. Automotive software, I think, is a big area. So that's another area that we must focus on. So in the ASDC, we are looking at credit-based courses with engineering colleges. We want to work with more and more engineering colleges. We are already working with quite a few of them. to offer industry aligned elective programs which they can offer to pre-final year, final year students. And these will be all credit based programs under the Joint National Credit Framework Policy approved duly by NCVT. Other than this, in terms of the whole NEP implementation process, we will be very happy to work very closely with most of the colleges to see how do we form that bridge to connect you with the industry, work on internship opportunities that are available in the industry, help you get connections with industry experts to do special sessions. These are areas which I think an organization like ASDC will be very happy to enable the ecosystem so that on both sides, the academic institution and the industry both can merge together and make it much more attractive and meaningful for the students that come into these core engineering programs. I'll just stop here. If there are any questions, we can take it later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views. Now, I would like to call Mr. Ramesh P, Head Retail Excellence and Customer Satisfaction, VE Commerce Vehicle Limited. With over 30 years in automobile industry, the individual has held key positions at companies like Tata Motors, Volvo Trucks India, Toyota Cars Oman, and spent 12 years at VECV in various leadership roles, now overseeing aftermarket projects, processes, system and customer satisfaction at VECV. He will brief us about automakers and expanding the electric vehicle market in investing charging infrastructure to overcome adoption challenges. The stage is all yours, sir.
Hi, good morning all. Thank you for this opportunity. It's very important to set the larger perspective. If you look at the entire world, there are around 254 countries. 195 countries are UN countries, but there are only 45 countries who can produce an automobile. Okay, and if you look at the position of India, we are fourth in the world, which itself is a very unique position. It is very important to have that pride of purpose. I think from the school students, from the college students, it is very important we give them what is our position in the world, a pride of purpose. So we are number 4 in the world. We produce our, I think FY22, financial year 22, I think we produced around 5.5 million cars and commercial vehicles. And if you look at the total, that includes the entire type of, all the type of automobiles manufactured, that is around 22.9 million, 23 million, that is FY22, 1 year back. So the industry is of course growing. We are a huge contributor to the national growth. The Indian auto industry is worth around $222 billion. Okay, and if you look at the GDP, the industry contributes to around 7.1% GDP. We contribute 8% of our total export, and very soon the prediction is by 2030 we will become the third largest in the entire world. Okay, these are very important data points, because this is how we create a sense of purpose to the entire Gen Z crowd, which is in the schools and the colleges. And of course there are some 20 automobile manufacturers and component manufacturers, and we create around 37 million direct and indirect jobs. See, when we say direct and indirect jobs, it spans the entire spectrum. It can be technicians working in the dealerships, it can be ITIs, it can be diploma candidates, it can be graduate engineers, it can be designers, engineering specialists, it can be management trainees, it can be everybody. So this is a huge spectrum. Quickly talking about Volvo Eicher, we have around, this is a joint venture with Volvo Trucks and Eicher Motors. So we have around 10,000 plus employees. We have 8 manufacturing plants. We export to more than 35 countries, and we have more than 3,000 touch points all across India. That is the that is the span. And currently talking about electric vehicles, there are more than 100 electric vehicles which are in operation. There are 130 buses which are at different stage of implementation. And our Eicher electric buses have almost completed 20 lakh kilometers with the various various operators, trouble free, touch wood. And there are the trials going on with trucks also. So if you look at we are as a company, I think the products we make, the engines we make, they are among the they're world class. They are exported as a vehicle, and even these engines are also exported to countries like Europe, where they are fitted on Volvo brand of trucks and then sold as complete trucks. So that means you can say our technology is at par with the best in the world. We are already, our electric vehicles are on road, and we also have the next set of vehicles ready. It can run on LNG fuel, it can run on CNG fuel, it can run on hydrogen electric powered vehicles. The entire technology is ready. The point I am trying to make is this is one industry where we are among the best in the world. We are at par with the technology available across the world. I worked 12 years out of India myself, so I can say confidently that studying here, you can go and work in any part of the world. I think it's a very important message for the entire student community. If you are able to study automobile engineering here, you will be able to work on any product across the world. Our technology is world class. We are there. Talking about chargers, AC chargers and DC chargers. There are two type of chargers. Presently, we are working with mostly captive chargers, which are kept at the customer locations. But a lot will depend on how well the the charging infrastructure spans out in the country. I think that will determine how successful this technology will become. And advantages and disadvantages of internal combustion engines and electric vehicles. Of course, advantages, we know electric vehicle environment friendly, it has lower operating cost. Disadvantages, the range currently, that is and then the charging infrastructure. And internal combustion engines, of course, we know you can take it anywhere, longer range. It is it is established, but the disadvantages are it contributes to the overall pollution and to the entire climate change of the world. So like I said, in addition to this, we are ready with all the other types of fuel also. You name it, we have it. Okay, that is how the industry is progressing. And coming to connected vehicles, I think our company, we are the only CV player who provide 100% connected vehicles. By connected vehicles, I mean all the vehicles are fitted with telematics, from where you can actually, the owner of the vehicle can position, they can find out where the vehicle is. And for the company, for the manufacturer, it gives lot of advantages. Like we can communicate with the vehicle. Whenever the telematics is live, we can actually communicate with the vehicle. And what happens when there is an error code in the present generation of vehicles, in BS6 trucks, when there is an error code, even if the driver decides to ignore, then probably from the command center, we have an uptime center in our plant. So there they can actually sense that this particular vehicle has an error code, and from there they decide, depending on the category, depending on the seriousness of the complaint, we can decide to stop the vehicle. We can decide to send a breakdown support from the nearest dealer. We can provide alerts. Now sometimes the drivers become very curious. They say that what is happening? I am sitting in the vehicle. Who is watching me from where? How are they knowing that my vehicle has a problem? So the vehicles have become so connected, and the technology is so advanced. And this technology is similar to what it is used in Europe and North America. So we have a similar technology, similar command center. And this is how the owner will look at. So the driver is in one place, the company is in one place, the owner is in another place. But still the owner can actually see what the cluster, the cluster on the vehicle looks like. If there are any error codes, what is the speed, what is the range, everything the owner can actually see the screen. He can track the fuel, he can manage fuel, he can manage uptime, and he can manage the trips also. And of course, any industry has its challenges. Semiconductor is one area where there are challenges because of geopolitical situations, because of COVID, because of many other factors. The logistics, there was a congestion, there was production stoppages, there were delayed vehicle deliveries, And even the companies were not able to predict when I can manufacture this particular vehicle. No, the situation was very bad. How do we plan to circumstate this situation? Long-term forecasting, optimizing the usage of chips, moving to new generation of chips, and then make in India. Okay, so these are some activities what we do. No, industry institution tie-up. We have modules placed in ASDC portal. Anybody can go and take these models, and then they can get accreditation after completion of these modules. We have a lot of regional competence development centers spread across the world, basically at engineering colleges. Now we train a lot of our local dealer technicians, customer technicians there. Then we have training on wheels. We have vans which can go to the customer location or even to engineering colleges, and then provide them with the current technology. So 14,000 students we have been able to train like this. These are some of the photos how the institutions, how the regional competence trainings look like. And so Indian automobile industry contributing to Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. I think there is one industry, we use it in industry. They say that customers go where they are invited and remain where they are treated well. I think for all of us, the customers are students. I think it's very important. From the school we we give them this thought. From the college we groom them. Industry we treat them well, and the company, the country, the policy has to be aligned. So if all of us treat them well, if all of us take care of them, they will definitely choose this industry, and this is very, very important for nation building. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Musrat Hussain, Head Human Resource, Suzuki R&D Center, India. He has over 35 years of experience in HR, including leadership roles at Maruti, Suzuki and KHD Humboldt, and involvement in industry committees. This accomplished professional is pursuing HR while actively contributing in HR excellence, recognized as 20 most impactful HR leaders in 2022. He will brief us about changing vehicle demand driven by environmental concerns and technology. The stage is all yours, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Director of CBSE and ASDC CEO, and respected industry colleagues. It's a pleasure to be here today. Now, let me start because I represent Maruti and Suzuki, so I have to give some background. So we are proud to say that we started 40 years ago in India, and we are proud to put India on the wheels and start the automobile revolution in India. Today, when we started, we were competing with 2 companies, and today we are chased by 26 other companies, and still by far we are the largest in the Indian market, almost close to 50% market share. And the thing is that, when we talk about most of the data my industry colleagues have shared, which I wanted to share. So I would be sharing only those data which perhaps you people have missed out to share. So one of the most important thing that I want to share is that despite 40 years of our presence and so many players in India, India is number 1 in 2-wheelers manufacturing and sales. India is number 1 in tractor manufacturing and sales. India is, as you said, 4th in automobile in the world. But in commercial vehicle, it is the 7th largest in the world. Now, despite that, the car penetration, which is car per capita, is still very minuscule. Today we have reached only 24 cars per 1,000 people, which is very low. It may look dismal, but it is actually very good, because we have more opportunity to grow, and that is the reason that even Tesla and many other companies are actually trying to come to India. So the opportunity for growth is phenomenal in India, and that is why the concern about industry can grow There will be sales and demand, but how do we produce? How do we sell? Do we have the right talent, right kind of people available? Because technology is available. India has got the technology and it has got all the infrastructure in place, but actually to run the system, where are the people? And are we ready for 2047, or are we ready for 5 trillion and beyond economy? How do we do that? So the question is that this is something very, very challenging. And if we look at some of the other data points, that is also very important to understand that 15% of the GST comes from actually automotive sector. And we have already talked about GDP and all, but if you look at exports also, 8% comes from this sector only. And if we look at auto component companies, which is more than 3,000 in India, employing 50 lakh people now, if we look at that, they are contributing almost 2.3 to 2.5% to the GDP, thing which is very phenomenal. And the best part is that our auto component industries is actually contributing to the entire global auto ecosystem. So their quality level have gone to that level. I mean, for example, if we talk about Maruti, we are one of the first company who has produced a car like Baleno, which is been actually exported to Japan. Japan, as you know, is very quality conscious. So to reach that level, it did not happen just like that. It has taken years, and I am proud to say that Maruti has been able to produce talents in such abundance that most of the auto industry is actually driven by ex-Marutian. So that is the level of capability that we have been able to build, and we are proud of that. And another thing that we have been doing, because when we started, the ecosystem was not ready to support this kind of industry in India, and our struggle started from that time. So we started as a public sector. We were called Maruti Udyog Limited. We became joint venture, and then third phase we are a complete Japanese multinational. Now in the first phase, when auto was not at all developed in India, and whatever you made, you sold in India, and the iconic 800 turned the entire auto industry. And perhaps I'm sure that most of the people today, would have driven Maruti at some point of time. So that is the impact of Maruti to the entire household. It's a household name. Now, coming to the expansion that we were trying to do in the last 40 years, the ecosystem was not ready. So Maruti had to hire even people from BHEL, hire people from unrelated industry, and then develop them, send them to Japan, get them trained so that they can work. And the precision and the speed at which automotive industry works, and especially now we are in 4.0 and moving to 5.0, we are now able to roll out a car every 12 seconds. And talking about school children, college children, IAS Academy, everywhere, there is a guided tour happening in Honda or happening in Hero or Maruti, where the children are actually showcased how a car is made, how you roll out a car so fast. That excites them. And today's generation is tech savvy. Today's generation is digital. And they want change very quickly. They want adaptive technologies. They want futuristic technologies. And automotive is the place which encompasses all kind of technologies, all kind of services. So automotive doesn't mean only engineering. Automotive even have legal. In automotive, you have textile designers, you have designers, you have body designers, you have clay modelers. All kind of people are required in that, apart from core areas, which is mechanical or electrical or design, and then IT related areas also, in the sense you have software engineering. And now companies are moving into ADAS or driver safety, or we are talking about connected, or we are talking about electric vehicle. All this is changing the entire landscape. And today when we talk about the growth of the kind of sales that we are looking at, and as I said, country was growing especially in automotive at a very slow pace earlier, but 17-18 was one of the peak for automotive industry. And then perhaps from 18-19, 19-20 and pandemic, there was a sharp decline in the sales for automotive and demand. Lot of factors were responsible. We were shifting to BS6, So people said we will wait for BS6 vehicle for 2020, so slowed down. We saw GST suddenly coming in, impacting the auto sales. We also saw the mobility changing. When we talk about mobility, people started talking about shared mobility. So we saw rise of Olas and Ubers, and people said that why I should buy a car if there is a Ola or Uber. So that also saw a decline, and a couple of other factors were responsible, and then pandemic came. So pandemic made everything flat. But interestingly, pandemic is the time where many companies had zero production, zero sale, and this year 2020 was also the year where we saw highest ever sale and manufacturing in the same year. Even Hero MotoCorp and many other companies. The reason being that there was a pent-up demand, and then there was social distancing worries. So people did not want to use shared mobility. They shied even from what you call metros or buses or taxis. Taxis had shield and all. Still people said no, we will buy our own car and I'll prefer that. So suddenly there was a surge. But then when things started moving, there was suddenly chip shortage, because all the chip was moved to the mobile industry and moved to computer industry, because people were working from home. The whole game of working changed. Actually, a concept of hybrid came in, and that changed the entire thing. And then after, when it started easing out, there is a Ukraine war, and now we see Israel happening. So I don't know, because it's a global kind of a thing, because it's not only domestic consumption, but global supply chain will be getting hit. So that is it. But coming to my perception that we are now moving towards electric, because there is a lot of consciousness which is happening in terms of climate change, and people are talking about environmental degradation. Demographic trend is also changing globally, in the sense there is a aging trend, whereas China and India, you have a young population. And then there is a rapid urbanization which is also seen. Digital is also disrupting. Consumer awareness is one area which is going for a big change. Gone are the days when you have to buy a car, you will actually wait for long time, or book a scooter and wait for 5 years. Gone are the days. Today people have all technologies, everything available to them, and they look for features, they look for better technologies, and they are very, very savvy. And younger generation is buying more and more car, quite because liquidity available. Earlier it was not the case. Car was only a private to very rich, or perhaps people in the government or in the police or in the army. They can have a car, but arm janta, or you call the common people, it was not there. So today that rising middle class is there, and consumer awareness is there. But all this has led to many changes which industry is actually working on, which is what we call ACEs: autonomous, connected, electric, and shared. So in all these areas, lot of talent and people will be required. Industries are investing on developing people. Once they hire, industries are running corporate universities, vocational, technical, behavioral schools to ensure, but that will not suffice in times to come. So we need to look at this in a very holistic way, and that is what my thing is, that the industry and the government and the education sector all should combine and look at chart out a journey for the next 50 years. How do we tackle this situation? So thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views. Now, I would like to call Ms. Anu Mehta, General Manager and Head Corporate Social Responsibility at Honda Cars India Limited. She has more than 27 years of experience in HR, administration, safety, and CSR. Plays a vital role at Honda, where she leads CSR initiatives aligning with her company's higher purpose, emphasizing sustainable social impact and business value, while overseeing corporate giving, project implementation, and partnerships. The stage is all yours, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all of you, and it's nice to be here listening to various aspects of education being discussed. And it's nice to see a forum where there is a synergy which is coming for the first time, I think, between AICT and the CBSE and us as industry. While I've had an experience which is out of 27 years, mostly 22 years has been hardcore human resources that I have taken care of. And when I look at the perspective of human resources and think about hiring, so I'll talk from two aspects, two sides. The first side that I will talk about is from the perspective of the industry hiring. And when we look at industry hiring, when we talk about industry hiring, majorly for me, it has been FMCG or it has been auto. So most of my life, in fact, it has been auto and it has been Honda. And the kind of recruitment that we've done has been mostly, engineering side. And if I were to bifurcate that also, 95% were mechanical engineers, some electrical engineers, some electronic engineers, some metallurgists for R&D and electronics, and the rest were some MBAs that we would. In fact, even for sales and customer service and things like that, we would actually essentially hire engineers, and if they had a MBA topped up, that was something which was good for us. Looking at per se the auto industry, mostly it is undergoing a paradigm shift now with the electric vehicles coming into picture. The requirement is that of computer engineers, which is mostly to do with AI and data science, and all this is coming up in a big way. But my own feeling is that this is as far as just the auto part is concerned. When we talk about the total engineering sector, the total engineering sector requires much more than just computer engineers. We still need a lot of people from the core, which is mechanical engineers are still very much required. Civil engineers are very much required. Electrical engineers are very much required. Electronics also, we require these people equally as we would need computer engineers. Looking at it from one side, which is like, you look at what is good for the engineers who come out of the industry. They're very happy to sit in AC environments and work on laptops. That is possibly also one reason why, computer science and all such things are coming up in a big way. And, most of the engineers want to be computer engineers and things like that. But then I think there are quite a few of those students there who really want to, mess up with engines, work on new technologies, work on something which is not there in the world and which is beyond computers. So I would say, that as far as engineers are concerned, the universities should also concentrate on each of the engineering areas rather than just look at, computer engineering or data science and AI. Of course, they're important, they're emerging technologies, they're emerging areas, but then we should top up with the core engineering areas being still there. When we look at officers and above, we are talking about engineering in terms of different disciplines. When we talk about the two categories, we have currently as auto sector, we hire a lot of ITIs, from fitter trade, turner trade, and electrical trade, and many other such faculties. And the current state of ITIs from where we hire is not all that great. So there is a lot of, in fact, a lot of companies like us and many other companies have, actually adopted many ITIs, and we're actually bringing in the kind of technology that we want there in the ITIs, so that the students learn from there and then they come into our work campuses. In fact, as Honda, we have Honda Vocational Training Institute, which basically acts like a finishing institute, and we take ITIs there and we then bring them into the finishing institute, tell them how it works in Honda, what they need to do in Honda, and then take them on board and make them work in Honda. So essentially, it is not just us. I think Maruti and many other companies are also doing similar thing. Now, why are we doing this? We are doing this because these kids are actually not ready. They are not ready for us. So therefore, we need to actually frame a bridge between the institute and what we want. Essentially, what I have seen is it is just in some internships when the students want to do, and they do it for 1.5 months, and they go back into their institutes. That's essentially the connect that they have with the industry. That connect needs to be much more. Possibly some of the institutes, as they are doing, they have the last semester which they reserve for the children to actually spend in a work environment. So if that is done, wherein they look at the work environment, they understand how the work environment is going to be after they possibly join. That will be a big thing for them, because they will then understand the other part, which is what is expected out of them. This is as far as the careers part is concerned, the HR part is concerned. I'll talk something about the skilling part in terms of my connection when we look at CSR. As CSR, Honda has developed two government schools. We've entirely done up the three schools, and we support the government, and we support these schools fully. These schools are till class 12. When we look at possibly the kind of students which are there, they're from they're government schools, so the students are from, there are not many things which are actually being, apart from the main academics, there are not many things which are happening in these schools, right? So from the perspective of the children, what we have done is we've concentrated on overall development of children. We talk about anything and everything. It is extracurricular activities, it is vocational education, it is understanding as to whether you can do good in sports, whether you can do good in academics. So it is overall development, which is the current NEP policy is also talking about that. The framework is also like that. Vocational skills, to my understanding, having studied a lot at the back end as far as the schools is concerned, is we are India is totally missing when we talk about vocational skills. It is just not there. There is a lot that needs to be done. If we were to study the model of Japan, they're so much into practical training and vocational skills, and here it is just about making engineers and doctors. So that trend needs to change. And for the children who are possibly now studying and would be taking up careers, I would say the world is very, very big, and it is vast, and there are many opportunities that you have, and it is not just possibly becoming an engineer or a doctor. You can do much more in your life. You can take up many more new courses which are available today. In fact, our career counselor, who does career counseling in all the three schools, talks about 450 careers which are available to the students. So sky is the limit. You can encash it anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your views. Now, I would like to call Mr. Neeraj Hans, Chief Operating Officer from Sandhar Technologies, also Chairperson for ASTC Expert Group for Future Technology. He is a professional with over 30 years of experience with a focus on bringing new technologies to Indian automobile industry, and emphasizing concepts like lean, Z, digitalization and smart manufacturing. He will share his views on automotive manufacturers ensure compliance with evolving safety and environmental regulations through continuous adaptation. The stage is all yours, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and prior to me, speakers have already spoken about most of the things, so I don't have much to speak, but still I'll try to justify my availability also here. So I think it's a great platform created by AICT and covering the entire cycle, entire all stakeholders rather, who are going to be the future of this particular process, starting from school and college and industry. All of us are here. So my message to students is that it's like getting from a school to a college, or from a college to a industry is like entering a theater, maybe PVR you can say, where movie is already running. You just have to enter inside where there's dark inside, and you have to find your own slot and sit there. So after some time you feel comfortable when you are seated and you look around, you can see everything outside, inside. But when you enter inside, you can't see nothing. So why I use this example mostly for the students is that when you enter some place, you should know the whereabouts of that place. You should know what is going to happen to me, and you should always prepare yourself to face that future. So seeing this discussion by CBSE director, then chairman, vice chairman, and industry, it's like this that people, everybody wants a comfortable job. So I myself a production engineering guy and mechanical industry, of course, spending almost 32 years now in the mechanical automobile industry only. So I think the joy of creation comes from manufacturing. So if manufacturing is there, if products are running on the roads, then only you need services, which means IT, ITS and all. So once you have product running on the roads, then only you can create processes to simplify the things for the user, end user, whether it's a customer, it's a supplier, it's a manufacturing guy in the plant, or anybody. More so, in manufacturing, you need designers, you need the developers of the product, physical, you need supplier base, you need manufacturing processes, you need maintenance engineers, you need quality assurance people, you need the testing engineers, and you need moreover sales people, you need services people, and network development. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities once you get into the core engineering subjects. I find nowadays that people are moving from core to emerging technologies. It's not bad, but core has to be at the base of everything. So I think once we move to the emerging technology, mechanical with technology, civil with technology, electrical with technology, and our electronics with technology, or even why not metallurgy, even our aerospace. So all those things, if we have a tinge of technology in everything, I think this helps students to not to bifurcate between the core engineering and the emerging engineering. So gone are those days, I think, when we at our age used to study in the colleges where concepts are taught first, and then after some time application is shown. I think we have to reverse the entire game. We have to show the application first, and from there how it is working, we have to go back to the concept. I think that is going to make a huge difference, because normally we were always remembering ratta kar rahe the hum log ki formula calculations, and then theorem, and then how it comes and what are the use of that, nobody knew. But now I think the application, if we show first and then we go back, it is going to create a lot of clarity to the students as well. Coming back to my own company, I work as a COO here, and we have almost 49 plants, not only in India. We are an Indian-based multinational company. We have 44 plants in India, and we have 5 plants in Spain, in Romania, in Mexico, and in Poland. So the opportunities are immense, I think, in manufacturing, especially automobile is an industry which caters not only to the automobile customers, it caters to your plastic industry, it caters to your steel industry, it caters to your rubber industry, it caters to your forging, casting, and even computers also, IT also now. So this is I think the bigger picture, bigger umbrella, where IT, ITS can be one of the spoke in that. And I see many students nowadays aspiring for becoming computer science scientists or computer science engineers, but nobody wants to do coding. If you ask people from the computer science, everybody wants to become a product manager. So this is the kind of, and I'm right, I think, I'm sure you all are listening to me, students. So the point here is that if you want to be a product engineer, you need to have the clarity of the concepts right from design to concept to development to manufacturing to maintain to sale also and service also. So if you have the manufacturing as a base, these all concepts can be understood very well by you, and in the process you can learn softwares also and hardwares also. But once you get into software only, I think the conceptual things of the creation of things from the from what we call from blackboard or artboard to the product, that becomes a lot of different for you. Sandhar basically is employing today almost 9,000 people with plants all over the country and catering to almost all the OEMs in India. And by and large, we are the largest manufacturer of lock sets in Asia, not only in India. We are the largest manufacturers of the mirrors also in the Asia. And why so? Because we cater to the number ones of motorcycles and number ones of the car industry as well, and also the commercial vehicles and tractors as well. So the volumes is the game. And going forward, I'll just quickly run through all the processes which we have here. So the entire concept of manufacturing again makes you think how to make it better. So zero defect, zero effect, which was a program initiated by our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. And because quality is it has to be produced. It should not be tested or checked to make it okay or not okay kind of a thing, which came from, and ever since that day, our organization and our industry is also focusing on Z cluster, zero defect also and zero effect as well. So the entire thing comes from the customer satisfaction and the delight with zero defect and zero effect. And because of that, we are able to export our products also in the last 4 years. We are exporting to BMW of Germany. We are exporting to Harley Davidson of USA. We are exporting to Kawasaki in USA as well, and also many other companies in USA, and even China also we are exporting. So these are the concepts. Our concepts basically come from the basic things. 5S is a Japanese word normally, which means the housekeeping and waste elimination and all. But we work on 5S, means 5 senses. Our 5 senses have to work towards the waste elimination. Don't see bad, don't hear bad. Like in the industry, you can hear pollution, noise pollution. You can see the dirt. You can feel the heat. So all those things, if you control through 5S approach, it can be done like that. So 5 senses and 5 tattvas. All the 5 senses we can use. So all the things, whether it's water, it's oil, or air, whatever we use in the industry, how can we reduce that to make it more optimization? So what I'm trying to convey is that solar again is an area where it comes to manufacturing only. So there are so many things which you will have opportunity in the manufacturing industry to look around and to apply your own mind, not only for coding but of course at the general industry also, and thereby creating a new world for India and for the futures to come. They say that if you want to improve your present, focus on the industry. If you want to improve your near future, focus on the college. But you want to improve your long term, like our Prime Minister has a development, India as a developed country by 2047. So schools are the target. So I think holistic approach is going to help all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views. Now, I would like to call Dr. K.C. Vora. He is a superannuated from ARAI as Senior Deputy Director and Head of ARAI Academy, and also Chairperson of ASDC Expert Group for Electric Vehicle. He has an extensive experience in automotive engineering, education and innovation, has contributed significantly to the field and received numerous awards for his dedication in teaching and learning. He will brief us about emerging technologies are reshaping the automotive industry, which is also proactively adapting, while media and awareness initiatives are catalyzing success stories in diverse automotive careers. The stage is all yours, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Students, you must have heard from AICTE, you have heard from CBSE, you have heard from ASDC, and you have heard from all stalwarts from automotive industry. I am here to tell you that engineering education is something which is very excellent, where you can show your passion and you can show your creativity, you can show your innovation, You can become a good employee, and you can also start your own business as a good startup. If you talk about mobility, that is anything which moves on land, sea, air, or space, then it is a very exciting world. In very soon, you are going to see drone taxis, you are going to see flying cars, you will see an autonomous car running without driver to deliver a pizza. It's already happening in Dubai. You will see hyperloop trains, and you will see all smart cities with smart mobility solutions. So it will be very exciting for you to learn mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronic engineering, which is all required as an interdisciplinary of automotive engineering. There are many issues with automobiles on the road. We produce around 25 million vehicles every year, two-wheelers and four-wheeler included, and around 350 million vehicles are running on Indian roads. And it has become an essential part of our life, but we need to ensure that technologically also we progress. Many of the speakers talked about ASDC, autonomous, connected, electric and shared mobility. I would slightly tweak it for the Asian condition. What we need is affordable and assisted vehicles. We need connected and shared mobility. We also need eco-friendly vehicles, and it has to be 100% safe. So this must be our target, and I'm sure that when you grow up and when you join engineering, you would be taking care of these areas. In the 21st century, there are many issues in terms of oil which is coming from other countries, and we refine them to get petrol, diesel, and they are not available for a longer time, so we need to work on alternate fuels. Our more and more population is moving towards cities, more and more of urbanization is happening, so we need to take care of cities where there are more vehicles, and there are many cities where the number of vehicles are higher than the number of human beings, so we need to tackle that. Then we need to take care of our environment. We need to ensure that emissions are low, carbon dioxide emissions are low, and we must also ensure that we have a strong government who can support us, support the industry, make policies which are conducive to sustainability. And this is all what is happening in India. It's a very feel-good factor where you will see that Indian automotive industry is moving ahead very fast. So what are the solutions? So one of the solutions is to use electric vehicle, and that's what Indian government has come forward to support the electric mobility mission plan through FAME and other PLI schemes. And as far as ASDC is concerned, Automotive Skill Development Council, 10 qualification packs have been developed. Whether you can be a certified test engineer, you can be a certified design engineer, you can be a technician, a maintenance engineer, or you are in the assembly of electric vehicles. So there are more emerging technologies coming forward now, whether it is in powertrain, like use of motors, batteries, or it is in lightweight material. Material is altogether a new area where more and more sustainable materials we would be using. Rapid advances in connected vehicles and autonomous vehicles. So very soon you will find that the accidents have reduced because of using connected vehicle, and also there are autonomous vehicle. There are various levels of autonomous vehicle, but you would very soon see, maybe in the next 5 years, vehicles running without drivers. We need to all work in this area, and it will be very exciting to study this. So there are various levels of autonomy. Right now we are at level 1, level 2. We need to move towards level 3. In the next 5 years, we can move towards level 5 of autonomy, where the driver's seat would be missing, and maybe we will have a circular pattern in a car to sit together and talk together. So the technology is moving right from basic safety. It's moving towards comfort, convenience, preventive safety and seamless connectivity, and then Internet of Car. And accordingly, we will have to move towards higher technologies like information technology, electronics, consumer electronics, and operating systems and app. But the core is still mechanical, electrical, and electronics. You must remember this. You must always do a core study and do specialization in these areas. We are also talking about artificial intelligence, and there are many courses where with a core subject you have honors or a minor where you can take artificial intelligence or machine learning, and that is also moving towards a future technology. So advanced driver assistance system is another area where a lot of work can be done to ensure that the driver is comfortable and we all are safe, whether safety is within the vehicle or safety for the vehicle or the safety for the pedestrians. In short, there is an ecosystem which will support you to study all these interdisciplinary subjects, and also you must take care of sustainability. We must respect our mother earth and ensure that we don't pollute them, we don't create more noise, and we don't create heaps of wastages which will remain on the mother earth. So from skill point of view, lot of research has been done that where is the skill gap, and in the area of automotive, infrastructure, building and construction, we can see there is a major skill gap. So if you study those areas, you have more chance to become employable and you have more chance to do business in those areas. Lot of research has been done that what can be done to enhance the skill, and we need to now integrate the skill and the education together. So the education from the educational institute and skill from the industry has to combine together. It's a very good initiative where industry and academia is meeting together, and if we are able to reduce this industry academia gap, then skill would be enhanced, and this is what is required in our national education policy 2020. We will have to work effectively how to integrate this skill and education together, but I would give you a couple of case studies where SA India is working on events like Baha, Supra, or a school event called A World in Motion. This year we have initiated activities like mechanical Baha, electric Baha, autonomous Baha, and hydrogen Baha. So students can do project-based learning and enhance their skills. So with this, I complete my presentation, and I'm sure that you all will look forward to work in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights. Now, I would like to open the forum for industry experts for the interaction session.
Thank you. Students, you have heard the industry experts telling you the opportunities in automotive sector. We are going to do similar activities in all the sectors to enlighten you. But what is the message today? There is a lot of opportunities in core engineering, and core engineering is very essential for them. That means there are many jobs, many opportunities for you for your career growth. What is another important thing came out of this discussion is you also have the multidisciplinary topics you need to study, and you have to be a multidisciplinary person, not just so along with your core branches you also can learn other things. Another important thing emerged out of the discussion is the skilling. While you're in college, you need to learn some skills, specific skills, domain skills, which you have to focus and take some extra courses and be ready, job ready for entry into an industry. Then, everything will be very good for you. Last but not the least, it is the industry needs you need to understand. So also you have to keep your eyes open, ears open, and look for opportunities in these. There are plenty of opportunity. India is going to be the leader in many of the core engineering sectors. Okay, today we have heard automotive sectors, where we stand in the world. We are almost in everything in the top 10. I can clearly see that. So with these, I think there is a plenty of opportunities for you. So choose your streams appropriately. This is all the message I could say, and maybe we will listen from the experts some of the few points or key takeaway for you from these kind of discussions what we are having with the industry experts. Thank you.
So it was a very interesting discussion, and actually students might have learned a lot out of it. As AICT, we give approval to diploma colleges and degree colleges. So I would like to know from our industry experts, and basically what is there? There is a tendency among students who have done ITIs, they want to do diploma, and because they think there will be better opportunities. The students who have done diploma want to do degree, they want to do MTech degree. To look at, they think that there are better opportunities. From an industry perspective, what is your angle of looking at this? Whether you prefer diplomas or degrees, and what kind of your workforce, what is the composition of your workforce?
If we look at auto industry particularly, we have a requirement of all the categories. But in terms of if we call ITI intake, it will be close to 40 to 45% of the overall intake. Diploma holders would be close to 20%, and maybe another 35% would be the engineers. But primarily people who are in non-manufacturing areas, say sales, service, or other related allied areas, they are engineers plus MBA preferred. So largely people are core engineering background people and who are moving into the industry. That's the spectrum largely in most of the automotive industry. It could differ little bit in the auto comp industry, but for the OEMs, this is the large trend.
Another question which I would really like to ask is that when you are hiring, whether your focus is on students with core competencies, or now you are actually trying to hire a person where he knows emerging areas, and then you, through some kind of finishing schools, you actually try to also train him in some of the required core competencies, or the scenario is vice versa. What is usually the industry's approach towards this? Because there is dearth of now good talent coming towards this industry.
So how we think we see qualification. Qualification for us is a passport.
Yes.
You take a qualification, to take a degree is a passport for you. So visa for your job, you have to get it done yourself. So for which you have to have students' attitude. So if learning attitude is there in you, industry will take you and they train you in the required application or function. So once you are attitude, because whenever interviews are happening, industry comes to you, they look at your attitude. Are you open for learning? Are you open to do your best? Then if you are mechanical, electrical or civil, they will train you as per their requirement. So if I need somebody for designer, we will give you training for the designing also. Nowadays, I think these internship programs, where even before you complete your college degree, you are placed in the industry also in the 7th, 8th semester or like that. So that is the period where you get to have the training from the respective professionals. So by the time you complete your degree and you are absorbed in the organization, you are put in the respective area. And industry is also open to rotate the responsibilities as well, based on your competency, based on your urge to learn quickly. So they can rotate. The more functions you work, the more you will be growing faster. This is also a...
I would just like to add what he has said. He said that attitude is very important. So there are three important words: knowledge, skill and attitude for any student to develop. So knowledge is very important, which you will learn in the school, you will learn in the college, you will learn from your teachers and parents. Skill is something which very few will teach you. You will have to acquire those skills by hands-on. So how to work in a team, how to do your time management, how to have that confidence, passion, all these students will have to learn, because they will have to survive wherever they go for work. So these skills are very important, and you must find out avenues where you can hone these skills. And the last is attitude. Attitude is something which is very important, that a desire to help others, desire to work in a team would make a very big differentiator for you to get selected by companies, industries, to get a better job. So please, if these students take care of all these three, so knowledge will come from institutes like CBSE and AICTE or government institutions, and skills would come if ASDC helps to develop through those qualification packs. But attitude is something which has to come from within the family.
Very interesting. Madam, I was listening to the conversation, and one aspect which you clearly maintained, or which you clearly elaborated, was that when you get a student, at Honda at least, you put them in finishing schools, try to actually train them. So how much investments you have to make for actually ensuring that the student is ready for your needs, once he gets out of the college, because investment not in terms of money but in terms of time and effort, so what is that scenario currently?
So what we do is we hire engineers from various fields. As I said, they are mechanical engineers, they are electrical engineers, electronics, metallurgists, many other also areas, material science, computer, chemical engineers, with the perspective of taking them for production and as well as for R&D. Once you hire, it is for that particular skill that you hired him, right? But then when it comes to the workplace, he or she can be put anywhere, right? So with that particular perspective, the new entrant is trained at least for 1 year in all the various areas of work. When it comes to production, he can be put into assembly frame, he can be put into the engine part, he can be put into powertrain, he can be put into any area which is relevant for him to grow up, right? So what I would say is skilling happens essentially for 1 year to teach our kind of the kind of requirement that we have. Only then we can put the
So
person
if
on
I
board.
understand correctly, it's more like this training is more Honda specific training. It's not getting into actually core kind of a engineering training or education. So it means that the education currently, the curriculum, because we, as chairman sir also rightly said, we are developing curriculum in consultation with industry. So curriculum currently is giving enough or competencies to the students, but because you have to make them relevant or orient towards your programs, your own requirements, you have to actually go ahead and train them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Madam, that is phase stage of 1 year. But if you tie up with the academic institution, if they can do that skilling which you are doing, everyone will be able to save 1 year.
Yes.
So here I would like to just add,
Yes.
I would just like to say something here. Not necessarily the institution that we put them in to would be core to the kind of values that we want in the organization. So this kind of a skilling does happen for most of the companies. But simultaneously, I would also like to mention one important thing that all of them need to have. Any of the students need to have this today, especially, is adaptability, because anything that you learn is just a base that has been given to you. You need to build up, on
Very
your
true.
skills.
Very true.
I'd like to add
Yeah.
something here.
Yes.
See, the process is that when these students are hired in the college, they understand very clearly that and their aspiration or dream company is automotive. So some of the best companies will land up on day zero. Fine, because they will get the best talent. Now in that also there is an exam which is done, and people qualify that exam, then they go for interview or other process. So it's a very rigorous process of selection. And once the candidate is shortlisted, in the sense when interviews is happening, focus is more on the, and my other panelists have talked about, is focus on aptitude. Because attitude, not aptitude, because see, by and large they have cleared this kind of score, they have clarified, and very basics are taken because the guy is good, quality of mind is good. The industry has to actually mold them as per their need. So at the time of their hiring, they are asked choices in the sense that where they want to make their career within engineering company or manufacturing. So some will opt for manufacturing, some would opt for design, some would opt for quality. And looking into their app, because we do aptitude test also, and based on that then their placement will be done. But 1 year of training is there, in which 3 to 4 months of training is a generic training on finishing school and getting oriented towards various kind of function. They will be put in all the areas. 6 months normally is the area where they are going to be actually absorbed, and they are put in various locations also. And we believe that learning happens on the job. Most of the learning will happen on the job. As far as the other institutions are concerned, like in Maruti, we have our own captive university. It's called Maruti Suzuki Training Academy, which is giving lot of training to even outside. So we do that thing, and people have to go through those process. Even a CA has to go into the finishing school, and MBA coming from best of the B school will have to go into the finishing school and see how a car is made. They should understand, because many people don't even know in non engineering or manufacturing how a car is made. They don't know. Even finance guy doesn't know, but they will be dealing on it. So this is the way companies adopt. Company to company, it may differ a little bit, but largely this is the way they do. On the job is the best. 70% of learning comes from on the job. 10% is only classroom, 20% could be practical, finishing, could be many things, online or whatever you may call. This is 70-20-10 principle we follow very rigorously.
This is a very interesting discussion, and to be very honest with you, I have multiple really questions lined up. But we can actually have maybe one-on-one or kind of a discussions. We can do more such interactive sessions, because these are very critical areas for us, and we would like to address.
See, this thing, when anybody is hired by the industry, it is not hired only for that very stream, okay, because they grow up they start growing up the career. We have the job rotation policy, and many of the organizations follow the job rotation policies. You might have landed up in the mechanical, but your skills are much and more in the electrical and other kind of things. They have the opportunity to move even to the engineering to the HR also, HR to the other functions also. That keeps happening. So industry doesn't work in that kind of things. Second is we think that when you talk about the workman category, blue collar workforce, certainly there is a very silos kind of things, but in the managerial category, the silos are not there. We need to actually address the couple of the things here, because when the engineers joins, whether diploma holders or the engineers joins, what they are going to manage in the industry, they are not going to manage they hardly manage the machines. They manage the man, they manage the method, and they manage the technology kind of things. Okay, so whether we are teaching them, we are enabling them to, when they are come to the industry, they are industry ready. What they are finishing schools and they are not industry ready. So when they come to the any kind of organizations, whether they have that very skills to manage the blue collar workforce, that they are supervising, they are managing the methodology, the SOP, and other kind of a thing. They are managing the other aspect of the management. So I think there is a requirement to also to add in that very curriculum. And when you find the thing, when you enter into the industry, you are industry ready. Right now, that is a problem. Thank you.
Yeah, so very interesting insight again. And I think this is what you're hinting is that the students, if given an opportunity, should go for electives where there are management principles and management topics are, certainly as electives, sir, we are certainly offering them. So this is a good insight. So before we just conclude, I would like to just reiterate what our chairman sir has also said. The key which industry is looking, if I understand correctly from this discussion, is attitude, right? Attitude. You have to be flexible. You have to be adaptive, so that you can, industry can rely on you. They can, they know that you are flexible, so they can actually, what we can say, mold you the way they want you. And then apart from that, there should be an attitude for continuous learning, and updating yourself. So if you focus on those things, the career here is going to be extremely interesting and progressive. And we are pretty sure that it is going to be a long stretch career. You will earn everything what you desire in your life by getting into this sector. So thank you very much, sir, for joining here and sharing your insights. As I said, we will continue this dialogue, not only for the discussion, but also we will be interacting with you and taking your inputs while we are designing our own internal programs at AICT also. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all of you.